we go. Your video and
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's the trachea right here, and you can feel the cartilage rings inside of it, and on the back side of it, attached to it, using it as a brace, is the esophagus. All right. All right. So when we come down in here, we have the lungs. So the lungs are lobed. You have 4 lobes on this side. There's one way down here that's kind of small, and then you have 3 on this side. The heart sits right here in the middle. Now, what gland is this that sits over the top of the heart? Y'all remember? Thymus, okay? Because you can see that the thymus is pretty well defined, what would that tell you about this cat? He's young, okay? So it's a young cat because it's there. Now that other cat that we have, actually the thymus is either missing or it's starting to atrophy, which means it had started dissipating or disappearing, okay? All right, what is this big muscle right here that separates this cavity from this cavity?
The diaphragm.
That's the diaphragm, okay? Now, what is this? All of this?
The stomach.
No.
Liver.
Liver, okay? Now, I want you to look right here. Y'all see that green sac? What is that?
Gallbladder.
Gallbladder, okay? It is green, yes, that's from the bile that's in it, remember? All right, so right here is the what? That's the stomach, okay? Now, y'all remember talking about greater and lesser omentum, okay? So lesser omentum is going to be this part right here, okay? It's all that fatty looking stuff you see in this curvature of the stomach. Then you also have this right here. They call this the lacy apron, okay? And it covers all of this down here. So this is the greater omentum down here, all right? Now, what is this organ right here? Largest lymphoid organ.
Your spleen.
Spleen, very good. Now, if I take the greater omentum and I pull it back, and then I kind of pull up on the stomach and all this, move the small intestines out of the way. Now, what portion of the small intestine comes directly out of the stomach? Duodenum, okay? So, do y'all see this structure that kind of looks like a muscle that sits right up against it, and then it goes across here? That's the pancreas. So it's bilobed in the cat. We say that in the cat, the pancreas lies in the arms of the duodenum, okay? All right, now, this is small intestine. Do y'all remember the structure in the rat that let you know you were in the small intestine?
No.
Maybe if I do this.
I forgot the name.
Mesentery. Mesentery. So all of that clear stuff you see, all of this right here, that's mesentery. So that lets you know this is small intestine, okay? Because all of the small intestine is going to have mesentery, okay? Large intestine will not. Now, you have duodenum, then you have jejunum down here, and then you have the ileum. Now, after the ileum comes the cecum. And the cecum is basically your separation point between your small intestine and your large intestine. Do y'all remember what the large intestine looks like in a cat? What shape it was on your picture? A cane. That's right. So if you pull all of this out of the way, y'all see the cane? Okay. So here's our cecum. If I were to point right here, that is called the ileocecal junction. Okay. The part below that is your ileum. Duodenum would be down here, and then, jejunum would be down here, and then the duodenum is up here, okay? So, large intestine, you have ascending, transverse, descending, and then up under here would be the rectum, okay? What's this sac right here? That's the bladder, your urinary bladder, okay? So, it's... if you remember the rat, it was like this big. It was really tiny, okay? Now, this is a boy, so there's prostate gland here and over here. And because he is a young cat, which we established because of the thymus, you notice down here there's no scrotum, so there's no sac with the testes inside. You can't see him. He hasn't dropped those yet because he's so young, okay? And the other cat, you will see the scrotum and the testes. Now, if I pull back on the spleen and the intestines and the large intestine, what is this right here?
Kidney.
That's a kidney, okay? The other kidney is up under the liver. So if you move that, it's right here. Okay? All right.